What's up, guys? This podcast is sponsored by Yak Attack, and that's yakattack.us. What Yak Attack is the leader in the kayak fishing industry who specializes in kayak fishing rigging solutions. As kayak anglers themselves, they are tightly integrated into the sport of kayak fishing and are acutely aware of what the sport needs. It all starts with the gear track and or the mighty mount. The gear track comes in all different sizes and colors, and the screwball that connects to the gear track connects everything to your boat. And what that is a variety of rod holders and camera mounts for your still cameras and your GoPros, light poles with the day flags that folds into the flag, the fish finder mounts, and the black pack crate system. All of Yak Attack's products are made in the USA. A few years ago, Yak Attack set the gold standard in kayak visibility with the VisiCarbon Pro. Fast forward to today, and it remains the most dependable light flag combo in the industry. The 48-inch deployed height gets the flag and the light up where it can be seen, and the 14-inch collapse length allows it to be stored when it's not in use. The high visibility flag doubles as a pouch, making it easy to use as you store it away as a pack. The expected lamp life of 10,000 plus hours of the ultra bright high efficiency LEDs, and at least 100 hours from the 3 AA batteries that are included. The carbon fiber mass is strong and lightweight, and the narrow profile offers low wind drag. The soft foam keeps it afloat if it goes into the water, and that fits in most rod holders, with an array of mounting options that fits into most boats and popular mounts. Don't compromise with safety. Depend on what tens of thousands of other paddlers have trusted. There is only one VisiCarbon Pro. And the podcast is also sponsored by my DVDs at KayakHeaven.com. The Kayak Fishing the Chesapeake Bay series and the Bay Tour DVD. The fishing DVDs are broken up into a trilogy. Number 1 is an intro into the fishery with a full year's worth of footage of more of the larger fish targets in the lower Chesapeake Bay. The instructional sequels are broken up into 2 parts, the warm water and the cold water species. Number 2 is the warm water species with detailed instruction on the rigs and the fishery itself, spanning from the red drum at the shoals, flounder, and the summer structure species, and the sight casting, the red drum and striper. Number 3 is the cold water species, detailing the instruction to the winter targets of the tautog and the eastern striper fishery. The Chesapeake Bay Tour DVD is a 6-week, 600-mile tour I did in 2010 around the Chesapeake Bay, filmed in kind of a Survivor Man style, showing everything I look for and do when I'm on a long distance tour. All of these DVDs are available at KayakHeaven.com. And Yak Attack at yakattack.us.
So, what is that you're drinking? Here, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
All right, guys.
There we go.
All right, guys. We're about an hour running. Yeah, we're
Thanks. Even more people showed up though than originally started.
Yeah,
so that's crazy.
And we're an hour late. We're sorry about that. So we're going to be running late tonight. And thanks for our guests also. But this is podcast number 44. It is February 5th, 2015, and we got Lee at Lee's house, and we've got Kwanza Henderson from.
I keep looking for the camera up here. I'm like, no. Oh.
And our first guest tonight is Kwanza Henderson from Miami, Florida. His website is weyak2.com. That's WEYAKTOO.com. And you see him on Facebook. Kwanza Kayaking Henderson is his page. And yeah, man, awesome to have you on. And yeah, thanks for holding on. And I know Phil's coming up after you, and he's got to hold on later. But he's an hour behind too. He's in Texas, so it's not too bad. So yeah, Lee, you want to say something about his muscle shirt in Florida there?
Yeah, look at him. He's flexing. We thought this was a no flex zone, but
no, it's bigger time for me over here. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah. Well, man, yeah. Are you from Florida?
I'm from Miami.
Okay, you're from. Yeah.
Yeah, born and raised from Miami, but I live in Fort Lauderdale right now.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, yeah, that's what on Facebook.
How far is Fort Lauderdale from Miami?
Well, it depends on what part of Miami you're talking about. I mean, it's about 30 minutes, and it can be maybe an hour.
Okay, well, I mean, Virginia Beach is a big area too, but okay, yeah, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Right.
What's do you do any freshwater stuff?
I do. I started out freshwater fishing.
Yeah, I've been seeing you doing the bass and stuff, right? I've been seeing you lately, and basically what I know you're an Ocean Kayak Pro staff. You've been doing a lot of stuff, especially for the ads right now. You have a lot of pictures. Before I even get up, is that GQ thing for real?
No, man.
Okay, I didn't think so. I didn't look.
Rodwell did that. He took my picture off my page and he did something to the computer or something. He played too much.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those. I saw it and then I was like, I was like,
too much.
Nah, that's Rob, man. He played too much, man.
Well, it was good. It was so good. They're just passing on it on Facebook and going, what the fuck? Yeah, it was something I was gonna have to ask you about. I didn't look into it any further, but yeah, I was like, damn, you got a GQ cover.
Nah, man, somebody, you know how many emails I got from that picture, man? But nah, shout out to Rodwell, man. He's a good guy. He's really funny with it, though.
Oh yeah, man. We had him on last week and it was awesome. He was funny as shit. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah. So do you fish with him often?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean, he's a really cool guy, man.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot. We fish. Well, I'm trying to fish with him more.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he said he's more. He said he's more into the freshwater. He does more freshwater,
Don't believe him. Let me tell you something. When I took him out, when he went out with me on in the ocean, that was it for him. He was hooked.
Yeah.
It's like after that, it's like telling the crackhead to get high off of weed. You know what I mean? It doesn't work anymore.
That's what it sounded like when we were talking to him. It sounded like once he got out there and
he caught a fucking sailfish his first time too. So that's crack.
You telling me, man? I've been trying to catch one. I only hooked one. And
so what? Know that feeling. So you took the new guy out, right? You took the new guy to the area and had one of those. Yeah, and had one and yeah.
That was the second time it happened to me. Second time. That kind of, well, I was happy for him. You know what I mean? Just to see the smile on somebody else's face.
You can't hate. You know what I mean? There's no way to hate on something like that.
And it's a good guy. He knows how to fight it. It's not like somebody who wasn't experienced enough to handle it.
And also when Jay went down there for the Extreme Kayak Tournament, he paddles out. The guy next to him, they've been paddling out next to each other. The guy next to him catches a sailfish. He's not mad. All he is, he's just amazed. He just, you know what I mean? His jaw has just dropped. Like, I can't believe this is happening right here next to me.
Right.
But that was the King Mackerel tournament. That wasn't the specific billfish tournament.
Right.
Have you haven't fished any of those tournaments, have you?
Yeah.
You did?
The extreme, not the sailfish, but just the I fished in the Summer Slam.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully Rob will come with me.
Yeah. You do a lot of tournaments down there? I know there's a lot of them.
Say it again?
You do a lot of tournaments?
No, I try to, I set some of them up though. I don't fish a lot of them. But I do put some together.
Like what?
Like I did one, it was a rattle trap bass tournament, which was, I think it was in November. Was it October to November? And in March of last year, I did a kingfish tournament, which turned out really good. So I'm looking forward to doing another one. Now I'm in the works of talking to one of the kayak shops here to see if we can work something out and put a tournament together,
I bet that's fun to set it up. I mean, you don't have the pressure of the tournament, but you got to put on a good show or people are unimpressed. I mean, tournaments are not just about the fishing. It's about like the dinner afterward, the camaraderie more so that, I mean, these kayak tournaments, especially the offshore ones, everybody fishes with the same bait and they all have to launch off of the same beach. It's you know what I mean? My luck and your luck differs on whether you can control one goggle eye or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whether I can have one bait out and you can have two baits out because you have, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's all I see is the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny. I was using goggle. I don't like using live bait because I never really have good success with it. But I was using a goggle eye and I was trolling a rattle trap. I got hit on the rattle trap and never got touched on the live bait, which just blew my mind. I just couldn't understand that.
And dude, I'm telling you, you're gonna catch less sharks on lures too. Way less sharks on lures if it's anything like up here.
Yeah,
We
man.
catch anytime we put live baits out and start trolling around in the ocean up here. It's shark after shark after shark.
Oh my. Man, I just shark. I can't. I have a video coming out. I'll put it up. I'm still working on it.
I hate shark videos. I won't watch it.
This shark was camera shot, man. Because when I picked it up on me, it just went berserk, man.
Everybody sounds good.
Yeah.
So, are you doing a lot of offshore stuff right now? Or not right now, but coming up this season, and that's where you kind of focus on?
Well, right now it's season. I'm trying to get me a snook.
Snook?
To put on the grill.
Yeah, right. Because they're edible right now. I mean, they're you can kill season right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's time. It's time to put them on the grill. Introduce them. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a small window, right? You have a small season for them.
Oh, it's February 1st to June 30th. Yeah. Yeah. It has some time.
Yeah, that's
so
not so
I'm
bad.
looking forward to putting at least 2 of them on the grill this year.
Yeah.
They've been elusive to me. I've been getting the small juveniles, man.
Nah, you caught a big one with Gene, didn't you?
Which one?
The one with Gene. Didn't you catch a big one with Gene?
No, Gene caught that one, man. What?
Oh.
He caught the jack. He caught a big jack.
Oh, you caught the big jack. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Don't do that to me, man. That hurt my heart right there. Now, Gene is awesome, man. When I saw her fighting that fish, man, I just, it was like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she knows how to fight. I saw her fight a bass in Georgia when I was at that dealer conference with her, and
Right.
and I saw her fighting it, and that thing came up out of the water, and it just I mean she can fight.
She did.
She knows what she's doing.
That red she lost on the bridge. She didn't lose.
I saw that.
You saw that? Yeah.
That happens. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah. And
That happens to all of us.
And she doesn't have she didn't have experience around the pilings. And I told her like the night before, I was like, this is going to happen just like this. It's going to happen. And she said once she knew she had all that in her head, and once she got it and it happened, it just happened so fast that because there's a
Yeah. I lost one doing the same thing. The hook came out, but and then I just got lucky enough to get another bite. But this fall.
But she was putting the heat on that thing. It was really good to see
Yeah.
that. And I was hoping she was going to get another bite that day.
Those things pull so fast, man.
But so she knows how to fight, man. And it's cool that you get to fish with her down there too.
So
yeah.
what's the biggest
Kinda
red
do it
you've
again.
caught?
What's that?
Say it again.
How big of reds do you catch?
Red. I'm still trying to catch one. What are you talking about? I'm trying to find one. I don't catch reds.
Him and Rob will the same thing. It was like they haven't caught reds yet. It's like they have everything else.
So can't you drive like 2.5 hours across the state to the Gulf side where they just wail on them?
Well, first of all, I caught one by accident, and it was probably maybe 15 inches or something. It was small.
Yeah.
But I was completely shocked when I said, man, I wish I can catch a red. And next thing you know, when I said that, I hooked up with it.
Right.
But that was an accident. It wasn't what I want. I want 33 to, massive or something. I need something.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
62, 65.
Shit, a 33.
I need something that's going to make my line just scream like a woman. You know what I mean?
That's right. So what is that? Hold on. What is that you sent me a picture of? What are you drinking?
Well, I'll put it in the camera right here. It's a big bottle of wine, man, that I get. I'm not going to tell you where I get it from because I don't know if I get in trouble for that one.
Okay, because it's not online.
It's a good wine. It's a red wine.
Okay.
It's called Stand Out.
Okay.
But it's good. It's real good.
Yeah, Lee's been working on like beer sponsors and stuff.
Yeah, actually, Back Bay is John is the head brewer now at Back Bay. So maybe we could get some a Back Bay mug in here and some a kegerator and.
You got it. I don't drink. That's all on Lee.
Sit it down here when you get some of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not the empty bottle. I need a full glass, a full bottle now, closed.
Yeah. My sister's boyfriend is the head brewer at one of the breweries locally now.
Oh yeah, I'll be in trouble if that was me. Yeah, I'll be in trouble.
He does a good job.
That's great.
Oh, people hate us. See, you got to turn this the other way.
Oh, yeah, you got.
It was up at 13. It was up at 13.
Yeah.
Now people hate us. I mean, I don't know. They probably hate me.
Yeah, I can't ever let Lee watch the Ustream feed because he'll see how many people are watching and he'll stare at it all day. So I like to chase it away from him so he's not looking at it. Yeah.
Stay away from it, man.
I noticed that on the first podcast we did together, we were both kind of like just staring at the screen for some reason.
Yeah.
And it was okay. I saw that and I was like, okay, we got to change that.
And then as soon as it was gone, I would stare at the camera, but now the camera's not there. It's way over here and you're over here, so it's pretty dynamic now.
Now,
All right, so Snook, that's what you're doing right now. That's what your target is.
That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah.
You know, it's just right now at this moment, it's hard to get out because to try to balance family, work, and all that other stuff, it's hard. But you know, you have to make it work sometimes. You know what I mean?
What do you do for a living?
Say it again.
What do you do for a living?
They keep breaking up.
Oh, what's your job? What do you do for a job?
Oh, I'm a pharmacy.
Pharmacy tech.
Pharmacy tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. A lot of our pharmacies are getting stuck up by people locally here.
No,
a lot.
I'm working in a pharmacy.
Huh?
No, I don't work in that kind of pharmacy. Thank goodness. Oh yeah, no. It's closed door, man. It's for bleeding disorders.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. See. So when does the offshore season start for you? I mean, here pretty soon you get that mullet run and all that craziness, right? That's like your peak springtime, right?
I gotta hear you. I'm sorry, man. It's breaking up when you speak.
The mullet run, is it
Oh,
the spring?
mullet run.
Yeah.
Is that in the spring?
It's coming. It's a spring run and it's a fall run. You know, I'm still learning that, man. No matter how long I've been fishing, because every year it's like they change times of the year. They'll come early or they'll come late. You really never know.
Is it a water temperature thing?
It could be. You know, I'm not sure. I think it's more so that because all the stuff that's happening here with all the building is messing up the water ecosystem. So things aren't being. It's like the signals, I guess, they send out for that time of year. It's being just interrupted. You know.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking it is, because I remember maybe 6 years ago, around September, you'll see maybe millions of them coming in, and just you see tarpon crash them. Now you barely see them, you know. And if they come one day, they're gone the next day.
Is it that's thinning out, or is it they're changing their migration patterns?
I think so. I think it is the pattern being changed. And again, I think it's because all the building that's going on the beach and all the other stuff. So where they used to come, they're not coming anymore. They're not going anymore.
So it's becoming like kind of unreliable, kind of like our striper fishery.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's changing because our striper fishery is still here. It's just moved out 20 miles offshore instead of being inside the bay. It's changed.
Yeah.
And maybe something like that is going on. Because don't you also have the fresh water that's getting dumped into the salt water? Yeah, there's some issues of that going on. I remember reading.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen it. Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I know there's certain places that's happening, and things is just, it's too much stuff being put in the water, man. You know what I mean? Everything is getting really messed up.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what kind of sucks. But at the same time, I'm still going fishing, man.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to catch me something. You know what I mean?
Well, you got the offshore thing, the Gulf Stream stuff, those species that you target, those things are always moving through, and those are pretty reliable.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I think in a couple of weeks, maybe in March, that's when the blackfin tuna coming down, are really gonna start hitting. Even the kingfish, man. And I need some sashimi. I need some type of sushi or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's coming.
How far do you have to paddle for that?
Oh, you don't have to go far. Maybe a half a mile to a mile.
Jesus.
I mean, it's not. It depends on where you go. Like, there's a place in Dania. You probably have to go out a mile and a half to get into some real deep water. But if you go north to Pompano, man, it drops off quick. And the Gulf Stream is real close to the shoreline, so it's right there, man.
Yeah. What size black fins?
Say it again?
What size black fins?
Well, I caught one that was maybe 20 pounds before.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, because where we mothershipped up here, I don't know if you ever saw any of the pictures, but we mothershipped up here for down in Hatteras a few years ago, and I caught one that was 24 pounds, and that's the biggest one we got that day. But we got them like, the boat that we have them on has almost broke the North Carolina state record, and it's just like almost like 42 pounds or something like that. It's crazy. We get like giant black fins on the rock piles off Hatteras up here in the winter. But I mean, it's 20 miles out, so you mothership. Yeah, it's a mothership thing, and we're the only ones that have ever done that. It's been attempted twice by the kayaks, and the time they went this year, they couldn't even put the kayaks in the water because the current was moving too fast.
Yeah. That's one thing we have here. If you go up north, like to Pompano, the current rips. I mean, you look down, you probably another mile away from where you started, like in a couple of seconds.
Is it possible to leave a truck somewhere though and go up the beach and use the current to your advantage and come back down? You know what I mean? Like a 20-mile day or something like that. Is that possible?
Yeah, a lot of guys here, they do drift trips. They'll park one place and then they'll drift as far, and then one of them will catch a taxi back down to the trucks or whatever and come back and the other guys stay with the kayak. So I'm trying to plan it. I hope my birthday's coming and I put something out on Facebook. Yeah. I'm trying to get 35 or more kayakers, man, to go at one time. You know what I mean? And I mean,
get a bus, a limo. Y'all can get wasted on the way back on a limo.
I want to do something that hasn't been done before. You know what I mean? And having that many kayakers when there's no tournament, no nothing, just to be out there.
Yeah.
That'd be something different. You know what I mean?
That's a great idea. That's an awesome idea.
And I tell people, I don't care what kind of kayak you have, as long as you have a kayak, let's get on the water and let's wet a line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is the rocky bottom, like, I assume where you go is not just deep, and you've got like rocks on the bottom or something like that?
Some places, yeah. Some parts of it.
Do they hold like amberjacks all year long?
Yes.
Okay, because the same thing down in Hatteras. If the tunas aren't there, as long as you can get something past the sharks, you can catch fish all day, all year. It doesn't matter, because if you get over those rock piles, you're in the warm enough water all year that amberjack are there. It doesn't matter. I mean, sometimes a year there's bigger ones there because they just move around. I don't know whether it's depth preference or temperature preference, but there's always amberjack there from the middle of the summer to the dead of winter.
Right. Well, I know one. Usually you can't remember how to get someplace because in the water it's not like roads. It doesn't have signs. But I fished this one spot so much, I know exactly where to go at to get me amberjack.
Rick says that about the charter captains off Hatteras. He said, and Oregon Inlet, he'll be riding around with them, and the guy will just be looking at Rick and telling him what the bottom's getting ready to do and everything, without even looking at the screen. They drive around over the same area offshore. He's like, always, we're coming up on a good rip over here, or, it's instant. The guy's not even looking at his GPS at all. He just knows where he's at, where the sun is, where the current's going in the middle of the day, you know what I mean? Just like you're saying, you go to the same spots off the same beaches, where the current, I assume because it's the Gulf Stream, the current generally goes the same direction. It just varies in speed.
Yeah, exactly. And the funny part was one day we were trying to plan a drift trip. We're like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do it. This is our first one. I'm excited. And we heard like the day before the current was moving like crazy. We get out there, we waiting, and we all looked at each other. And we noticed we wasn't moving. Like, yo, what happened to the current? Like, it was just ripping the day before. So it's unpredictable, man, and it's crazy, but
the Gulf Stream, man, a little wind can push the Gulf Stream like any kind of.
Yeah, man, and it's like I said, but we're lucky here.
It can be wind hundreds of miles away. It's crazy that the Gulf Stream moves so crazy.
Right. So hopefully around my birthday time, we can plan that trip, man. Like I said, 35 or more kayakers, man. Just on the water having fun, and somebody got to bring the beer though.
Yeah.
You're right. You gotta get somebody with a Hobie out there. Get somebody with the Tandem 17 with one person.
The beer.
A Tandem 17 with one person and about 170 quart cooler.
That's it. That's all we need. And
beer
that person
vessel.
shouldn't be fishing. They should just be holding the beer.
Beer ice down with jungle juice. So
That's it. That's
you can
what
just
we need.
open the drain on the cooler.
That's right. That's right. My camera froze.
Yeah, so did mine, but our audio is still fine, so we're good.
Yeah, we're good on audio.
Oh, there you are.
We're
Yeah,
moving
you come back
again.
down. And,
Yeah,
you were frozen a good smile, so that was all right.
And the audio is way more important anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Way more people listen on the MP3 version.
A good couple of them do, definitely.
Nice.
Plus the guys that listen, they're sketchy anyway. Some of them listen half the show, and then we'd be going up and down. So
What I did about the Gulf Stream when I was doing my tour through there, and I was listening to the VHF radio. What I did notice, what I thought was cool, was they had the forecast of where the Gulf Stream was going to be close to shore. Like today, it was 3 miles out, and tomorrow it's going to be 7 miles out and stuff. So it was, I guess, a little bit of predictability, but about as much as anything else. When it comes to wind, it varies so much. But it was really cool to hear how close it was to there, and for to be that deep the way it drops off like that there. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. When I got a fish finder, I went to Hillsborough Inlet. And that's when I first started jigging. And I tell you this, man, back in 2007, there was no videos on vertical jigging out of a kayak. So I had to learn all of this on my own.
The rhythm.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys jig them like as fast as you can, right?
Sometimes, and until my arm got tired.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer a spinning rod or a conventional?
I'm just spinning, man. Conventional, I just can't get with, man. I'm trying it, but
it's so much faster and smoother once you get the rhythm.
Spinning.
No.
Going to conventional?
A conventional is faster and smoother once you get it, but the spinning will wear you out way less because you're using your strong arm on the rod all day and your weak arm on the reel.
Right.
But then at the end of the day, you've been doing something with one arm than the other. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I've done it both ways. I've done jigging with spinning and conventional because my elbow was hurt one time when the time we did blackfins. I had to use a spinning rod because my elbow was messed up on my right hand, so I couldn't reel with that rod. It just hurt. So I jigged with that rod. Out of the kayak, man, the conventional rod seems so much better.
Does it? I gotta try it, man.
Yeah, get yourself like a Saltus, high speed, something. If you're catching something giant, I mean, if you think you're gonna hook into anything like real big, get a 2-speed reel.
See, that's the problem. You're gonna feel something big eventually.
No, I mean anything. I mean 100 pounds. I'm talking 100 pounds or more. Get yourself a 2-speed reel because it's just. I mean, that's really that Matt's bluefin swam out of the school, and he had a 2-speed reel. He wasn't all the time trying to give it high speed. He could turn the handle and pull a few inches at a time.
Nice.
I mean, that's just from offshore fishing. I've only done it a few times out of the kayak, but we caught bluefins and blackfins. So bluefin. Yeah, I mean, we got Matt got a 167 pounder. I hooked a fish next to the boat when they hooked one, and the one they landed was close to 300. But everything we hooked was breaking off. It was just there were so many fish in the water. As you were like paddling around, you could just look down in the water, and it was like hammerhead sharks every now and then, but just giant tunas just underneath you, and you just see them go by. It was you didn't want to look down. It was the craziest thing in the world. Like, it was the craziest thing ever. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, you just look straight down in the water, and 150 to 300 pound tunas are just swimming by.
I can handle that.
Like,
my heart can.
it was insane, man. It was insane.
You've been fishing offshore for that area for good many years at this point.
Yeah, man, since 2007 I started.
Yeah, so you've been seeing a lot out there.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is this, man. I caught a lot of fish before my GoPros.
Yeah.
now I'm catching bonitas, man. Like, it's driving me nuts.
Don't believe it's a camera jinx. Don't believe in that. Don't believe in that. Yeah.
No, I thought that for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my last 2 trips, I didn't even catch a bonita. I caught a king and I caught an amberjack.
What do you do with the kings?
I ate it.
Yeah? I mean, I they're good fresh. I just don't do, I mean, and also like fish salad or fish cakes or something like that, but after a couple of days, man, I feel like they're real mushy.
You said again? They're real mushy.
After mushy, like just soft after a couple of days.
They don't freeze good.
No, not at all. They don't even refrigerate very well.
No, I eat them the same day.
Yeah. Do you like bonitas? Do you eat bonitas or false albacores?
Hell no. That's big.
Man, see the falsies, everybody up here nowadays is eating falsies.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
False albacore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now, okay, I know what that is.
Falsies, false albacores or, yeah. And then you guys also get skipjacks down there, don't you?
Yeah, I know someone who caught one.
Yeah, you can eat skippies.
But I think you need a permit to keep them.
They're not very expensive or they're free online. All you have to do is sign up for them. They're HMS permits for tunas. You'll probably have to have the same thing for blackfins, don't you?
No, blackfin you don't need. That's the only
Well,
one you don't
actually, blackfins up here, there's no regulation also. No limits. No size limit, no creel limit.
If I
Kill them all.
It has to be 5 pounds or bigger for me to keep it, though. You know, other than that, I'm putting it back. You know, just the laws of fishing.
No, the baby ones are delicious.
Oh,
You just keep one like 2-pounder sashimi. You can cut them into steaks and sashimi around the bone. It's
yeah, man. But yeah, you know, it's like I said, man, it's coming. You know, and I really can't wait. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks, I'll be back out there, man, and catch me something that's worth showing. You know what I mean?
What species have you caught out there that's been of a highlight for you?
Say it again. You broke up.
What species out there have you caught that's been a highlight for you?
That snook is the 38.5-inch snook is one of them.
Yeah.
And I did catch an amberjack that's about 40. I would say 40. You know, I would say that's generous. 40 maybe is, I don't know, maybe bigger or smaller, but that one, and I think I hooked up with a wahoo for like 11 seconds. But
those things are crazy.
Say again?
They're crazy. Wahoo, crazy.
Yeah, man. The wahoo that took my lure, I actually saw it, and it was as long as my kayak. Just about, that's when I had a big game.
Wow.
And the big game is about, 13 feet. Yeah. So that one had to be maybe 6.5, maybe bigger. It was big. Wow. It freaked me out, but I went for it.
Yeah.
It was 11 seconds, literally. Damn, it was.
You just ripped off line and just took off, and did you end up breaking your line off?
Man, it took my lure, man. And the lure was a 12-inch lure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the crazy part is, man, since like I said, I caught a lot of fish, man, and since I have my cameras, it's like, and I don't believe in the camera jinx. I just think it's just that time of year or just that time for me.
Yeah.
You know, but I caught a lot of fish like mahi, grouper. I even caught a yellowjack, which I have a picture of on my profile.
Yeah.
What are you trolling besides, like, I know a lot of people troll those crystal minnow usuris, but for deep diving lures, do you use the Rapala ones so that they're more thin than like the big stretch 25s and stuff?
I use it depends. You know, I'll tell you this, when I hooked up with the sailfish, I was using a 3D line through trout from Savage Gear. Okay. And it was an 8-inch lure.
Yeah.
I wasn't even moving, and all I see is my line taking off.
Is
You know.
it? There's just so much current. The bait swims anyway.
Say it again.
So much current. The bait swims anyway, whether you're paddling or not.
Yeah, but with that bait, man, if you see it, you got to, first of all, you got to check it out, because when I went to ICAST, it freaked me out. I thought it was a real bait, and I kept going over there. I was like, yo, what is that? And when I saw it, I was like a little kid waiting for candy, you know what I mean? I was looking at it, like, yo, can I buy that right now? I was willing to buy it right there at that moment. And it looked so real. So when it falls, it stays this way. You know, some lures go like this or this. When it falls like this.
Right.
And just a little bit of water, it moves it like that.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
I've seen a lot from the Savage Lures coming out. They're putting out a lot of really cool live action stuff is what it's called, right?
It's it's called 3D.
3D.
Lion through trout, yeah.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of the Savage stuff coming out.
Yeah. And
I saw some at Bass Pro today. I was at Bass Pro today looking at that stuff.
Yeah.
Because Jay's got that boat now, so I'm looking at like big, trolling lures and stuff for when we're going from wreck to wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I sometimes use rattle traps too, some big ones, or even the half ounce, 1 ounce. And what I do when I need to get real deep, because if it's like 200 feet and I want to get all the way to 100 feet, I would get something called a ready rig. It's almost like a downrigger without having all that equipment.
Right.
And I'll put like a 6 ounce weight on it, like a drop weight, and you let some line out, and then you connect it, like maybe you let about 30 yards out, and then you connect it right there and drop it down and do it. It gets down deep.
So it's like so you connect it like a three-way?
Yeah, you gotta see it though. It's called ready rig.
Yeah, so you got the weight that's on the bottom, and then coming off your main line is
No, everything's on your main line.
Yeah.
But it has a little snap that you can you snap the main line in, so when a fish bite, it pulls out.
Yeah.
You gotta see it. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. So then you're not fighting the fish from that deep with that weight on there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The weight's just gone.
Yeah.
See ya. It's worth it.
Weight can stay on there. I don't want to lose my weight.
Oh, it stays on?
Yeah. I don't lose my weight.
Weights are crazy expensive in Florida too, huh?
And I have my own mold that I make too, just because it's that expensive.
It's 20 cents an ounce here at the tackle shops right now.
27 ounce.
20 cents an ounce.
Oh, 20 cents an ounce. Yo, that's crazy.
At the tackle shops. That's what lead sinkers are. No matter what the shape or size, 20 cents an ounce.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I'm not paying that much for no lead weight.
and in the structure fishing that we do it with the tautog, we lose it. As soon as you lose one, you're like, oh man, you start.
Oh yeah, I mean
up.
you use I use 8 ounce sinkers a lot, and I mean that's $1.60 every time.
Every time.
Gone.
That's like a lure, man.
I mean, it's still the hooks. The owner hooks we use are about that a piece too. So I mean, you look if you break the rig off with the fluorocarbon and everything, you're looking at like $7 every time you break off.
It's just like fishing with. It's just like jigging with spro lures. You break one of those off, and you feel it every time you break one of those off.
Yep.
Man, if I don't use, let me tell you, man, if I lose one of those, I'm crying.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
You just get it stuck. You do everything you can paddle back the other way.
We do all kind of crazy
paddling
shit.
in circles, trying to bring it out of there. Maybe it's just stuck. No, you can break it.
Oh yeah. You know, it's crazy. I thought I was stuck, man, but it was a grouper, man, in the hole. So it took me forever.
Yeah, our togs do that. We lost our video on us for a second, then it came back.
No, what it did was some color.
Oh, it just
some color.
okay.
Yeah. You gotta stop looking at shit.
He's
all worried about.
No, I just saw it. Oh, there it goes again. It's a movement. It is I move my head and it block that blue light.
That's maybe.
I can see it
or something.
Yeah, I think I can see. We can see what you can see right here in the corner, right there. So we can see that. You can see that. Yeah. That's when I moved it to make sure I was in there because he can see us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Any questions on there about anything? Lee, check the questions and stuff. So you haven't fucked around with the tarpon?
Say it again?
You haven't fucked around with tarpon?
Oh man, I got 2 videos, man, that I got 3 videos I posted with tarpon.
Okay, good, good.
Have you caught them?
Well, not in the kayak. I fought them in the kayak, but I haven't landed one in the kayak. But on land, I used to, man, I can tell you, I land 8 of them in 2 days.
Damn.
Right.
8.
Big or small?
The biggest probably 120.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Fighters.
Sick. It was sick.
You find it
And
on
I
the
was
beach?
It was in the marina.
Shit.
In the marina, right by some rocks.
No shit.
Yeah. That's some crazy shit.
Dude, I've seen one that was so big it was brown. It had to be like a dinosaur. It was that old.
And you fought it around the docks, and without breaking off. I mean, it didn't get in.
Well, what happened was I was.
A lot of the docks are floating.
And they went out. They went out instead of going in. So that's where they was going with the current.
Yeah.
So I was lucky.
End.
Yeah.
Max wants to know the question about leader for sight casting to big reds. I mean, we use the same leaders to sight cast to any
questions for Kwanza?
Oh, any big fish. No. Gene wants to know what his new favorite lure is.
Yeah, it is the DOA curly tail for sure.
You hear that, Gene? The DOA curly tail. She'll like that.
That's right.
She turned me on.
Dude, she lives by those things, man. She's all about it.
I see why. I caught 3 snook with those things back to back. So
it's crazy, man. When I went to Florida, it was like you had to have DOA stuff in your on one of your lines. Like I had to, in order for me to catch a tarpon, I had to like find somebody to sell me one lure.
Right.
Like the DOA bait buster or whatever it was, right? Back, it was 10 years ago. And I had to find that one lure. And I went to, it was paddling down, and there was a pier, and there was one guy who was like, I was at a tackle shop, and I was asking the guys, do they have this lure? He said, no, but I do, and I'll sell it to you. He sold me that one lure, and I hooked a fucking tarpon with it. And they broke it off, but they ended up hooking another one with the DOA, another DOA. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any
And what's crazy is DOA, it's nobody uses them up here.
Really?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Jay wants to know when the king mackerel show up and the good bite for a king mackerel.
Well, from my understanding, it's March. Yeah, it's coming.
March?
Like this summer, man. In the summertime is a prime time for them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they hit year round.
And he wants to know if you're also upset about your name being changed on Facebook.
Of course I am, man. I'm still trying to fix that, man. This is BS, you know what I mean?
Well, apparently...
And he doesn't even have a business.
Yeah.
Like, you, I mean,
I understand, yeah.
Kevin is, it's understandable. It sucks, but it's understandable.
It's understandable.
You, it's just what you do. It's just a hobby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your sponsors don't have anything to do with Facebook. You don't make money off having friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's crazy because apparently on mine I can attempt to change mine again in 60 days after I changed it.
Yeah, that's what they told me too.
Yeah, so we'll see what they're gonna let me get away with if I get to do it again. But yeah, I saw you had to change your name too, and I was like, yeah, but Kwanza is a pretty unique name.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you're scrolling down and you're looking through Facebook feeds, you know, Kwanza stands out. You know, Kevin is just, Kevin or Lee. It's kind of normal.
Right.
Well, I thought it was unique until I met 5 women with my name. Literally, 5 women with my name, spelled the same exact way.
Oh yeah. See, I've never met anybody. I never met anybody named Kwanza.
No.
Never met anybody named Kwanza.
How you doing?
So I was thinking it was a pretty unique name, but apparently you've met 5 other women with it.
Other women.
Other women.
That's fucked up, right? That's fucked up, right? And y'all just met.
You gotta buy me dinner first.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
All right, well, all right, we're gonna wrap it up with you, man. End on that fucking hilarious bullshit.
Yeah, we gotta get Phil in here.
Yeah, get Phil in here before it's too late, man.
Hold on. Jeff just said something, so
Jeff
let me make sure
something.
it's not a question. We just gotta.
We'll definitely have you on again.
How
man.
bad are the sharks inshore in the Keys?
Well, shit, I fish the Keys, so I can't tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't fish the Keys.
Yeah. Who asked that question?
Jeff Gregory. He's also the one that said the sound's awesome and he responds to everything.
Well, he's from Virginia, so
Yeah.
A lot of us Virginia thinks you're in Florida. Everybody, it's all one.
You're gonna get eaten by a shark anyway because you're in Florida.
To post that question on page, I'm pretty sure I got a lot of friends that can answer it though.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the sharks are bad where, Phil, we're going to talk to you next is too.
Texas.
Yeah.
Sharks bad up here too, man. Especially
they got a bunch of sharks in the marsh in Texas and stuff too. Jeff, Jay used to shark fish a bunch off the beaches down there.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah. Well, awesome, Kwanza, man. Great to have you on, and we'll definitely have you on again. As your season gets going, we'll have you on again.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Awesome.
All right, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate you having
Sorry
me.
it took an hour and 10 minutes to get ready.
All right, guys, man.
All right.
All right, thanks, man. Cool. Skype will be right back.
Here we go.
All right, our second guest of the night on the podcast number 44 is Capt Fil Spencer. He is from Texas. You can find him online. Probably the best way is the ocean kayak website, adventureonthewater.com. You are in Corpus Christi? Is that where you're at, Phil?
I'm in Corpus Christi, Texas right now. Yes.
Yeah, and that's you're a captain. So you do charter captains? You do charters?
I do, but I've focused over the last 10 years on nothing but kayak charters.
Awesome.
So that's what I do 100%. Between that and seminars and other things, that's it. I've just focused 100% on kayaking and sharing the love of this sport.
And for we know you as basically the Ocean Kayak pro staff team captain, right? You've taken on the role as kind of a team captain, basically kind of for us. You've kind of organized in a little bit of kind of a direction for as the pro staff gets really large now. You've kind of taken on a kind of cool role that way.
Yeah, I mean, over the last few years, I've helped a lot of pro staffers, and I don't think that I'm any better than anyone else. I think what you and I and several of the other guys that have been there for a decade can actually help and teach and mentor a lot of these younger guys out there, and maybe even open some doors for them down the road, because they're the next generation. We can't be here forever, but we can be here for a while.
And that's what you've done. You've opened up a lot of opportunities, and that's because your experience. You've been doing this. You've been doing what you're doing right now for what 15 years or so, right?
Yeah, for about that long with Ocean Kayak now. Doing it originally about 25 years before anyone ever thought about. People used to ask me all the time about, you can catch fish on that, and you guys laugh and say, well, yeah, sometimes. I never let the cat out of the bag too much.
Well, that's the thing is ocean. Kayak fishing. California and Texas are probably the two early hot spots for it. Around here, it really started gaining speed around between 2004 and 2005 is when it started gaining speed around here. But you guys had already been established, kayak targeting fish from kayaks for a long time at that point.
Yeah, they did. I mean, one of the first things, the frenzies they would use to paddle baits offshore years back. Those boats you could throw off the back of a truck going 70 miles an hour and get a couple scratches on it. I mean, it's amazing, how long ago the things I've seen and how it's changed. Today's technology, I mean, Ocean Kayak was about simplicity, and now we've gone to an age where they're wider boats. They've got more. There's just so many different bells and whistles on these things, and a lot of times it's great to have all that, but sometimes it's great to get back, and I love my plain boats. I still have an original Tim Niemeyer boat, so yeah.
I loved my drifter, my original Prowler 13. I love it. I don't have anything wrong with it. I'm stuck in a Trident 13. I absolutely love it. It's probably the most basic of them, but I just love it.
You want to talk about a fast boat? Try to get your hands on a Scupper Pro if you can find one.
I've seen them like in people's backyards.
Well, the thing about it was the hull design was such a simple hull design.
Yeah.
Just, it was
that rounded front,
rounded,
bottom
keel to it with the edges, but it almost had a real good rocker to it. You think it was just would fly, just small and light and fast. Yeah.
Very fast. I mean, that boat doesn't take much to paddle at all. And if you can find one, a Scotty triple mount up in the front. If you use a depth finder, now it's harder to stand up in. I wouldn't recommend it for just anybody. Now, if you have good balance,
I can stand up in anything.
Difficult.
Yeah, this guy can stand up in pretty much.
I stood up and threw a net out of Jay's Tarpon 10, a 7-foot cast net out of Jay's Tarpon 10. So.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. So whenever we talk about boats, it's like, oh, don't even worry about him standing up on it, because I think we tried out that was it a Viking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I stood up and it was all right, but you stood up and I was like,
well, I also like the rounded feel on your raised, because I always, when I'm standing in the kayak, I'm always on the balls of my feet anyway. So when you got that rounded shape right there, like the Viking has, and a lot of the wilderness boats have, it feels natural in the curve of your foot. You know what I mean? So you're not actually standing on the ball of your feet.
Yeah.
You just can apply pressure either way.
See, I don't like that because it was leaning too far forward. I couldn't.
I think that's a really cool boat. The Viking is a really cool boat.
Yeah. Yeah. It was all right.
Well, I like the flatter decks in the boats, but I've got big feet, and I don't know, my feet are used to hanging over in a Prowler 13 where it's almost like a claw, like a monkey, where your feet are dangling over the edges of that thing. But it feels comfortable to me, even though it's uncomfortable to others. I took 10 years ago when that boat came out, the very original Prowlers, I didn't have a rudder. You didn't need a rudder on it. I mean, having a rudder is great, but you don't really need one because it tracks really well. So I cut a board and put a pad underneath that, and I also had a small little pad up in the very front of the board, so when I would stand, I knew my feet couldn't go over it. It fit perfectly right in the track where your rudder system goes.
Yeah.
And it's not a real big wide board or a big board. You could slide it to where your feet actually go over the top of it when you're paddling, but I could actually put it right where I needed to and literally.
Oh. Froze up right on the stand. Oh.
So I put outriggers on them that I made, and those got knocked off since. But what do you do?
What's your main boat right now? What's your main boat that you ride personally?
Kevin, I have 18 boats sitting here at my house. I have to have a diverse group, maybe even a couple more than that. But I've got friends that I borrow, but I have to have a diverse group for if a guy calls me up, I can fit a 300-pound guy, a 200. I'm not going to put the same people in the same boats.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
Me personally, I like simplicity. I can pick and choose any boat I want, but a boat that's easy for me to use, especially when I go to Louisiana and Florida. Sometimes I got to track over a 2-story dam to get, literally boulders, rocks, giant, and just some other crazy things. So a 52-pound Prowler 13 works all day.
Yeah.
I can stand on it. I can throw it. I can move it. I can put a triple mount if I'm going to use a depth finder. Now, where I'm at here on the coast in Texas, I don't really need it very much. But in Louisiana and Florida with the deeper marshes, it's great to have. And that boat just works really well for me. And the Trident 13 is a great boat, too. It's just the only difference is it tracks a little differently. And, yes, the deck is flat, so it's a lot more comfortable on your feet. That's for sure.
Yeah. The Trident 13 has become my everyday. That's what I use every day.
Yeah. What when looking at your area, looking at the maps of your area, and you definitely have a lot of like inshore water with the inland bays and stuff like that. A lot of bayous and like a lot of inside stuff, and then you have the jetty that's out there. I was Google mapped your area just to kind of look at that, just to kind of get a feel of that area. And that jetty looked interesting. That juts out into the Gulf there. Do you fish that often, or do you kind of fish the whole area? What's your main thing that you really like to do? I know you do the guide stuff, but what do you like to do when you go out?
I'm inshore 90% of the time because, you don't have but a dozen days a year that you can go offshore in a kayak because it's kind of like a washing machine.
Yeah.
The surf doesn't come in like it does on the Atlantic coast and on the West Coast where it sets, and you can pick and choose and paddle through it. So some days that are calmer than others you want to go, but normally I'm inshore catching trout, redfish, flounder, fly fishing, and things like that. I do like to go offshore. Now those jetties, you can fish around them, and I've done it in a kayak, but it's really, really, if you don't know what you're doing, very dangerous because the currents coming out of there are so strong, and the big ships that come through will create a wave and suck you down really quick.
Yeah.
So I don't suggest that for the average person to get out in deep water thinking that, oh, this is a great place. You're playing with life and death there.
Yeah, it looked like it because that's your only inlet for look like miles of a lot of big water inside. So you're having a lot of water moving in and out of that one jetty. And not only the ships.
Oh, yeah.
Not only the ships. I mean, that's a port, so you've got these tankers coming in there. And when you got a current going out and you got tankers coming in, we have that issue here a lot of times. But yeah, so I know that. But it looked interesting just looking at the Google Maps of how the blocks were. I was just looking at the structure of it, of how there was like I guess you could walk out on it, right? Can you walk out on those jetties?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can walk out, camp out. The great thing about where I'm at is you can drive out to the beach right now, load the truck up, put a bonfire, go drive out there, go camp out, have a bonfire. You can drink out on the beach if you want. They just don't like any glass containers. But you can drive on a ton of our beach and just go spend a weekend down south, 2-hour drive on the beach, and you're down south where nobody's at but the coyotes and ghosts. And there are ghosts down there. You can check on stories about that. It's pretty crazy.
We want to know whose hair's better. People want to know whose hair's better. Yours or Kevin's?
You know why I'm doing... look, I had that cancer cut out of my neck a while back, and I've had it cut out of my face, so I look like Casper the Ghost when I'm fishing, which is great. You can laugh all day, but you know what? When I go home, I've only applied it once or twice, and I'm not burnt up. And using a buff helps a great deal.
Oh yeah.
And those are things 5-6 years ago no one used. But
I've got serious
market.
I got serious neck damage from the sun I think from my Florida tour. I mean, because I didn't have buffs then. And sunscreen only works for so long, and you're going to, I've got permanent damage.
That should give you cancer too, probably.
Yeah. But buffs, it didn't happen 5 years ago. And us older guys are showing the damage from it.
Yes, and that's one of the things, you protect yourself as much as possible now, gloves and everything else, long sleeves if you can deal with it. I'm doing mine because, like I said, I had cancer cut out a couple of times in the face and the neck. So I started doing about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, a Locks of Love. And I thought before I got it cut out, I was going to cut it out. So I was going to give before I got, or however you work. Mm-hmm. But I ended up scheduling it to where I got it done. It was all good. Everything's great. So I'm waiting to see. And either I'm going to get it done before that, or I'm going to do it at either one of the big shows this year. And that's why I was saying, if you're going to be at one of those and it was long enough, let's whack the hair off and make a big deal about it as opposed to it's getting
That's
back.
what I'm right. That's what I'm with. I'm with it.
Okay. Look, they needed 6 to 8 inches, okay? And between now and July, let's say ICAST,
that seems to be a preference. Retail. That seems to be a good number right here.
I mean, do you think by ICAST it's long enough? So what if you whack it to the back? People can say, oh, look at your hair. You know what? When you see, and I'm going to tell you this, when you see those people, and if you could see them wearing your hair and they showed you a picture, you would take all the punishment in the world just for that, for what you did for that one person.
Yeah, I've done it once when I had long hair in my 20s. When I cut my hair in my 20s, one time I gave some locks of love. That was pretty cool.
And then once when he had dreadlocks, he donated them.
No, I couldn't.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't blow dry, I don't put no chemicals. It's a la naturel, man. What? No coloring, no none of that stuff.
And the phone's on.
Yeah, right. Look, see. You want to see mine? Here.
There you go.
There we go. Yep. Al, I hope Al's listening still. I hope Al's on.
Yeah, man. It's just longer than mine.
Yeah,
fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, only,
Is that Wayne's World?
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh yeah, see that's where I'll need to get mine that length, and then I'll cut it off right here. You know?
No.
You know what? It'll grow back really quick. Eat a bunch of Jello.
Well, one thing I was, with the long hair is, and the sun damage is actually, my back of my neck has actually come back to regular color now. Now that I've grown my hair out in the last 5 years. Because all through my 30s I kept it short and my entire neck, but now that I've had long hair, I've noticed that the back of my neck is not as red as like the front of my neck is. So it's helped out a little bit. But the buffs, of course, have come in the last 5 years, man. You see me, I wear gloves, full long sleeve. Lee even wears long pants.
Yeah, I wear the pants and the shirts. I love it.
Well, down here, sometimes you got to wear the long pants because we get the hydroids. If you've ever gotten those before, it's almost like a jigger in tall grass. When you walk, as you're walking through the water comes around your legs, and they actually get on the very back part of your leg, the back of your calves, and it's almost like chicken pox bumps, and you want to scratch the tar out of them. But I tell you what, they're really, it's a pain, and there's sometimes during the year you got to wear pants, and I do sometimes, but I'm crab walking in a kayak and. Stingrays are more afraid of me than I am. I try to get close to them and touch them and stuff, but I'm not gonna pull a Steve Irwin kind of thing.
Are those hydroids? Are they the baby crabs? Is that what it is?
No, I don't know what they are. They're almost. When I've seen them, and they're almost like a see-through. It's really, I guess you could say that, but they're little tiny little things, and they're see-through. And they're really hard to see. I mean, a lot of times you'll get them surfing. When we're out surfing, that's a different type of the crabs that you would get, these little things that would bite you inside your wetsuit when you would be surfing. These are a little bit different. These are ones that you really can't see. They're like microscopic. But if you surf and you lived out and surf and you went out surfing, and you would know about those, like I said, the crabs that are out there, the little things that would bite you and stuff in the surf. That was crazy at some point in time. But these are hydroids, and people, you can look them up on the internet. They're just microscopic things, almost like jiggers in high grass, and they're bad. But then you also got to watch. I've got a guide friend that lost a finger to that flesh-eating bacteria that we've had down here. From the water, and people say, well, you go out with a cut, this will happen. Man, my grandmother used to bathe in salt water. Yeah.
That's my response to this conversation right now. For you to see.
You have another question?
What's that?
No.
Somebody has a question.
I'm not sure. What's it saying?
No, there was something up.
Yeah, Lee puts that fucking phone in my face, and I can't read. I can't see
he can't see
shit.
it.
And
he can't see it.
Yeah, I'm like, I focus on it. And,
hey, I got one for you guys. Are y'all planning on any tournaments this year?
I'm coming down and fishing with Gene on the the Adventure Water. What is the one in Louisiana?
Okay.
Team one. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
See, because the 4th of April is when that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Gene's going to be there. I'm going to be there. I'm not sure what other pro staff are going to be there. There's several others. Where you're at in South Carolina, Where you're at, you're up in Virginia.
Yeah.
So you'd have to go to South Carolina. But the IFA is one. If you fish 2 of those, it doesn't matter if you even just pay to fish them and don't fish them. You qualify to go to their championship in Louisiana. I can guarantee you, and I'll say this one more time, I can guarantee you I'll put you on the same fish that I'm on, and we'll all end up in the top 5. Literally. You'll be right next to me catching the same fish. You beat me. Awesome. Awesome. We'll all go kick ass over there. I'm telling you. And it's the most incredible thing. 45-inch, 50-inch redfish all day. Every cast. Just sick. Monsters. And if that's not good enough, you know what? We'll go several days before and stay a couple days after. We'll go in the marsh. And you just hold the camera and let the school of redfish just hit you. Don't even cast.
I've caught big ones standing on the marsh grass. Do you do more fishing out of the kayak, or do you do more taking the kayak to places and like wade fishing, basically?
You know, as we get older, your back hurts more every time you do something. So I enjoy taking my kayak, and like I said, I can sit side saddle on that Prowler 13.
Yeah.
Real comfortably. Same thing on the Trident. And literally sit really comfortable and crab walk up to about thigh deep of water. The nice thing is my back doesn't hurt. I can reach over and get a drink or eat a bite of my taco or eat a donut and keep on chunking and working shoreline. I don't like to sit still. I'm a guy that works water and moves water now. If there's workable water and it's moving for me, I don't have to move. But when you don't have a lot of tide movement where I'm at, if we get a foot of tide movement in an 8-hour day, that's unbelievable. That's awesome. That's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like up in Florida where you got 6-8 foot tide flushes.
Right, I was going to ask you, what is your tides down there? Is it like it is in the Panhandle where you have like these 12-hour tidal cycles?
You know, there's every other week is a high and a low cycle. So let's just say this week we've got 4 tides, and they're really not a whole lot. The following week we'll have a little bit higher tides, but there'll be 2 tides that day, and they're going to be, let's say, a foot to a foot and a half at the most.
Yeah, that's that crazy shit.
Later,
that's like that crazy shit that happens over on. Go ahead.
2 weeks later, we may have one that's a little bit more. Now, the last couple of weeks, we've had tides. It looked like somebody sucked it out with a straw. When the Atlantic was getting pounded with all that high tides, it must have sucked a lot of water out of the Gulf of Mexico because our tides were so low that you could see stuff. I mean, that's the best time to go because you find new areas that when the tide comes back in, and that's here.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, Jacksonville, Virginia, all up and down in there. I mean, when the tides move out, you know where low places are.
Yeah.
Here, the tide doesn't fluctuate much.
Yeah, we totally go in a low tides. You can go map out areas, and then you can go back and fish them in high tides and stuff. But yeah, I was wondering about that in your area, whether it was those big, where you have a lot of tides, or if it was like other places in the Gulf where you had those. Some weeks you had the 6-hour tides, and then you had the other weeks that you're explaining where you have the 2 tides a day, where you have the 12-hour cycle tides, but you're only moving a foot of water or so.
Yeah, it's not that much. Not like it is everywhere else. No, it's not quite that much. Not at all. Hey, and also, like I said, you guys, I don't know if your tackle shops have them, but hang on.
Oh, because Jay are you getting ready to show lures? We have a question about lures.
Check this out. This is something that y'all got to see. When you go and you're using the Tridents and any of those other boats, you know about this gone fishing seat, right? This comes with all the boxes.
Right.
What?
Okay. It's got the rod holder, the bungee. It's got, like I said, this pouch on the back actually comes with all the boxes, but it detaches. This doesn't have the boxes in it, but it literally detaches. See, they made these for us. But it detaches, and you put D-rings on the back and literally strap on this and go walk off fishing a pier, a shoreline, whatever you want to do with your lures.
Awesome.
But the seat itself Look, it's got a lumbar support in it. I know it's hard to see because it's black.
Yeah. Back out.
But
Back
it's
out
super
some.
hard back. There's a lumbar in here. I mean, there's some. I mean, this thing. I helped Water Sports Warehouse make that seat 10 times better than what it is. You can't wear it out.
Yeah.
And what it's going to do for your back is incredible. But your most of the kayak shops would order that through them, and they would put their logo on the back. But it's a Gone fishing seat from Water Sports Warehouse. Do your back a favor. They're about $120.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, man, it's well worth it.
Yeah, it's good.
The upgrade seats are awesome.
Yeah.
So Jay wants to know what your favorite lures for like redfish and trout are. I mean, I guess that probably depends on water conditions, but what do you like to fish for redfish and trout, for lures wise?
You know, I love a good top water. That to me is so much fun to watch them blow it out of the water and not catch it, especially the redfish. I personally like Bass Assassin paddle tails.
Okay.
And the straight tails are great too. But one of the reasons why I like the paddle tails, the Assassin so much is they're soft. And if you throw a Texas Tackle Factory and there are a couple other guys out there, a couple other companies out there that make a few, but you throw them like DOA makes one similar, but they're shorter and stiffer. Put each one of those on your hook, and I use a screw lock hooks. Put each one on a hook, put it in the water and pull it along. See which one takes the least amount of effort to make it look natural and real.
Right.
And that's why I like the Bass Assassins, because I can put them on a weedless hook and I can run them in the wintertime slow as can be if I wanted to along the bottom. And I'm going to catch off these big trout, these big redfish. Another one, like I said, is the soft plastics are my favorite. They're a no-brainer bait. A paddle tail is just throw and reel, but you've got to find the right speed at which to reel at to find it. Now you can jerk them, you can do all kinds of things with them. And I like the straight tails too. I don't know if you can see those.
Yep.
Okay, those are the straight ones. And then these are dark. Like I said, this is like another color.
Yep.
Oh, I love those paddle tail style baits like that too.
That's the same thing that we love too. We love those baits. Those are the
they work everywhere.
It's the no-brainer. They're soft, so fish can grab them. They're the fish like them.
Well, if you get down, like I said, whenever I go to Louisiana, Florida, like I said, for those bigger redfish, and I'll use like these giant baits.
There it is. There's the live target. Jesus Christ.
These things. But see, I've got a lot of state records and stuff on the old school mirror lures.
Yeah.
And catch 2000s. Look, that one right there. I'm gonna tell you,
I like
this
the
color
blue and
is one of
silver.
the best colors
Blue, white.
at nighttime. This catch 2000 right here at nighttime is so deadly, it's ridiculous. You should see some of the trout I've been catching on this thing right now. Sick. Hogs, man, hogs. Hold on, I got these too. Look, there's a good color. That's chicken on a chain.
That's the shit. That is like the.
Yep.
That's the go-to for me here.
Yeah, that's an awesome bait right there. Yeah. That's an awesome bait right there.
Here's your pumpkin seed chartreuse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, that's cool. It's the same.
I like
same
the flashy tails. I like flashy tails. I like natural colored bodies and flashy tails.
I like the flashy tails.
A lot of bait fish have flashy tails anyway. If you look at Menhaden, their tails are orange. a lot of bait fish have bright colored blue or bright colored tails. Bluegills have chartreuse tails. That's where your chartreuses come from. Their fins and tails are chartreuse.
I like the flashy tails because when I was up in the flats, these grass flats up here, up in the bay, when I was standing and when I was casting it, I could see my bait because the flashy tail was really noticeable. So I was able to walk it, bring it over to the high grass, let it drop into the holes and bring it out because I could see exactly where it was without any distortion, and I could really see it. That's what for me, it was just cool for me to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the great thing about those paddle tails. If you put this on a weedless, weightless hook, I'm going to tell you, you can reel it along nice and slow. It looks so natural, and it's just so easy. Between that and like I said, it's hard to throw a weedless like this on a bait caster. I'll use a 3000 spinning reel, Okuma. Like I said, I've got them over here, that Hilo, the 3000, it's green. Man, that reel doesn't weigh anything. I'll throw that with a 10-pound XL, extra limp, but I use a little clip swivel, and it's about 18 inches away, and that keeps my line twist to nothing. I don't ever have to straighten my line. I don't have to worry about it. Yes, I do have to replace them occasionally, but every one of my lures have a leader on it.
Yeah.
And I tie it on there to where it looks natural around the inside part, and it actually is able to move around. A lot of people tie it directly to it, and
you
it just can't. Your line goes one side, and it won't work right.
So you like a loop knot?
There's ways to do things, and you just have to take time.
So you like a loop knot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't like the slip knot all the way down, but what
No,
I've done
but you like a surgeon's loop or a perfection loop.
Yeah, I mean, it's able to actually move. And I know you can't see this, but I'm gonna put it really close and see. You can see how that goes through.
Yep.
Yeah. That's like a perfection loop.
Right.
Yep.
And I'll have a leader so far away, and I'll have tiny little clip swivel. But now this bait's able to actually move just so natural, even when I'm not moving the line. But a lot of people will tie direct. And if it's tied sideways, it doesn't come in right. Everybody has their own way of doing things. And this is one that I'm not going to say, after so many trips, I'm going to change this leader out. You catch so many fish. Some people put a swivel directly to these. Right. I did that for when I was a kid. And you learn you're going to lose a few here and there. They're going to suck it down. They're going to crush that swivel. But I still like to use my little clip swivel. I tie on, but, having a barrel swivel on there is going to relieve a lot of that twist that you're going to have in your line.
Yeah, because you use a mono.
A lot.
You use a mono line.
Yeah, I use probably about a 30-pound XL mono, and I like the XL just because it's extra limp.
Yeah.
And it stretches before it breaks. The 10 and 12-pound, 10-pound test line, I can throw a country mile, and I don't break it. Yeah. Literally, it takes a lot to break it. If your drag is set right, you're equipped. I brought a 50-inch redfish during that IFA 10-pound test line. Sight casted it. It's not hard to do. You just have to have the right equipment and be able to utilize it, what you got, and be ready for that hit and play them right.
Yeah.
I see you catching some of them big sheep's head, man. Those guys they're fun to play with, especially on a fly rod. Take all day. Yeah, they're sick.
Yeah, we got ones that get into that 10 to 15 pound range, and yeah, it's crazy. It's such a hectic thing. Yeah. Well, we also got those pilings that we work around too, and it's kind of that it's a crazy dynamic to have this structure you have to work around to get these fish that fight around.
Well, you ever catch any of the big Jewfish there?
No, we don't have.
No, they're not even close.
No, not even close to being up for us. Yeah.
I want to see you going like this, just pulling one up out of there.
Oh, we would if we had them, we would try.
Yeah.
So we got a question. How mad are you at Kevin for reporting you to Facebook for having Fishman in your name?
He's joking because of my name having to get. Yeah.
Can you hear us now better?
Wait, say that one again.
Yeah.
I said
say it again.
Somebody's asking how mad are you at Kevin for having reporting to Facebook that you had Fishman in your name.
Did I have it in my name?
Yeah, he was,
in his name or my name?
No, your name.
You're having the nickname because
how mad are you that he snitched on you?
Oh, I'm okay. That was given to me when I was a kid. So it's all right. It's all, like I said, they used to ask me where the fish man is, and I'd say I'm right here, and the fish are over there, and it goes way back. So it's just, I don't know. They taught me what the fish do, So that's where the nickname came from. So it's not hard to go out and catch fish if you know what the fish are doing in any condition. And I've been out in some nasty stuff.
Well, that's the thing. Is also, as I hit on this a lot with successful fishermen. Around here there's a saying that says 10% of the fishermen catch 90% of the fish, and it's because your 10%ers are the ones who really are obsessing about the fish. They've learned the actions of the fish. They've gotten into the psychology of the fish themselves. And that's where you, like you're saying, you know where those fish are at any time because you've the experience and the thought you've put into it.
Right, and learn new things when you go to new places, but the same fish do the same thing where you live and where I live. They're the same fish. Trouts are trout, reds are red. So, yeah, I see my wife back there.
Yeah, totally got photo bomb.
My daughter, what was she doing?
Video bomb.
She's fun. Yeah, wife, my daughter. Who's my daughter? Photo bombing.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Awesome.
It's hilarious.
Hey, well, are you going to be fishing any of these others? Like I said, like the Extreme that's coming. I know they're doing the one here coming up, the Sailfish Smackdown or something. I don't know, but the one in June, I know Kwanza is looking to go to, and then I think maybe the other one in August.
Yeah, the only one I have on my list right now is the Louisiana one on April 4th. When I'm doing with Gene, that's the only one I've got right now.
And how about we're also Jacksonville on the 15th, 16th of May.
The problem
is another one. I think a bunch of us. Yeah.
I would love to do that, but that is right smack dab in the middle of my redfish season, my spring redfish season. It's hard for me to get away from what I live for. I mean, from May is pretty much I'm off the charts, hungry for big reds at that point. And there's two tournaments.
It's one weekend.
I know.
No.
Yeah, I know. It's
no. The Jacksonville's just the one on the 15th and 16th.
No.
No.
It's bad. It's bad. Yeah, I can't.
Yes.
It's hard. But I do want to do one of those one of these years. I definitely do because it's more of a great meeting than anything else. It's a tournament, but that type of
Yeah, no, that's basically what it is. That's what it is. It's more of a meet and greet and just to be there and chat and all that good stuff. That's basically what it's about.
Yeah.
And then what about, like I said, the John Snout Doors thing, that championship that they're doing down there in Florida? That's in November.
What is that one? I don't think I've heard that one unless I've been missing an email.
It's the one, I guess, that Captain Pat puts on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What is it called? The Tropic Bay?
Yep.
Championship? Yeah. Tropic Bay. I don't know. That's going to be sometime, like I said, November of sometime. So that's not a bad one to get away from.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Get together on.
That's absolutely.
I think John Stewart sponsors them.
Yeah, I would love to do something like that because it's getting cold here.
Yeah.
In November.
Yeah, by November it's getting cold.
But see, that's why I was saying if we did the Louisiana in October, you'd catch some of the monstrous reds. We could do some video and photos that you would just be, it's insane. And it's if you want to go do it, you can do it. You can do it in the morning, you can do it in the afternoon. It's insane.
Well, that would be cool because it'd be coming right from our fall red season, which we catch some big reds and then go to Louisiana and catch some big reds. So that would be pretty good timing because that's right as they leave us.
Well, I'm trying to talk them into that's where we need to do our next shoot with about 8 to 10 of us is go down there and it would be epic.
Hell yeah.
It would be epic.
Kwanza had an awesome idea about on his birthday float. He wants to get about 30 kayakers and do a Gulfstream float with about 30 kayakers offshore on his birthday. he was talking about that. I thought that was an awesome idea, just to have a big get together like that and do a huge offshore float.
I'd love to, man. If there's a way, like I said, I don't know when he's thinking about doing that. It's gonna be better be warm enough that I ain't gotta wear a lot of clothes.
That's right.
What's the temperatures down there now? What do you have? Water temperatures? Is your fishery still happening, or is it winter?
Yeah. I mean, this morning, like I said, a few trout and a couple of redfish and a flounder, but by 7 o'clock the bite quit. It was really weird. The water temperature is 58, 60.
Mid-60s. How cold?
58, 60.
Oh, that's not bad. Is that as cold as it gets for in the wintertime?
No, it got down probably 48 when we got really cold a few weeks back, but then it bounces right back. On normal water temperature, I would say it's at 58 to 62. And then once it starts to hit 70, 72, those trout start to spawn. That's when they start to move in. That's when the bite starts to happen. A lot heavier than now, because right now you've got to work it and work it slow. So.
Yeah, that's kind of, I guess, the same temperatures here is when everything starts getting happening is right around the 70-degree mark. Around 60s is when it starts to happen, but 70s is when, it's on. It's when it's on. The inshore fishery is on. And I guess with that, the shallow waters you have there too, it cools down really quick, but then the sun's going to heat it up really quick too. So yeah. And do you have freeze issues with fish dying and big issues like that?
We've had that here in the channels before. I can tell you, I've got a picture back in 1983 standing on a place called the Oso, and I was probably 150 yards out in the salt water standing on ice. And that was pretty neat. We had 3 in a row, about every 5 to 6 years. Right after that, we only had 2 more. But I remember filling the back of a pickup truck with monster trout and redfish that we could just dip with dip nets. The problem was they had rubber waders back then. You had all these clothes on, and I almost froze to death catching fish with a net. It was sick. It was sick. But then they made it illegal. After that, the game warden said, you know what, you got to wait so many hours or whatever it is before you can touch them. And by that time, they're already spoiled.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So every once in a while, you do get those hard freezes that everything kind of, it hurts your fishery every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, we are susceptible, and the fish do move out, but then they end up catching quite a few, like in the deeper, and this is something where you're at, the deeper channel, the house channels.
Yeah.
That are, that 6, 8, 10, 12 foot. A lot of those have a lot of soot and mud that have been in there for years. Those big trout, especially up where you're at, those big trout will get in the winter and sit there.
They're discovering that here with a lot of the rivers, even north of where I'm at here, up in the bay, that they're discovering that the trout are actually just staying in the deep, because there's a lot of mud back up and get up into those areas. And
look, go up into the channels where the houses are, and there's mud up in there on those nice, calm nighttime. You don't need any light. Go throw yourself a couple sinker mirror lures, old school, and drag them real slow right now with it being that cold. Yeah. You're either going to catch them, they're going to come and hit that lure softly, and you're going to catch them, or that lure's going to run right over their back, and you're going to snag them.
Now, you're fairly south. You're more south on the Texas coast than you are, more the you're south of the middle, I guess. Do snook come up in your area?
Oh, you bet.
Oh shit, cool.
Yeah, we've got them. Now they're not down in South Padre where their ship channel is. They're a little more prevalent. Our ship channels are there, but you can't go underneath in a certain part of our ship channel since 9/11. Theirs, you can go all over the place. In Houston, the ship channel there's a lot more open as well. We have them, but there's certain times of year, like they're there right now. There's some in those Channel Islands, staying there for the winter time, but they're very, very difficult to catch. Not like Florida, they catch them, all the time.
Yeah.
We do catch them here. I have caught quite a few of them here over the years, but they're a lot more prevalent over there in Florida.
It's not a target species.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, here they've got to be between 25 and 27 inches to keep.
Huh.
That's it.
Huh.
Anything in between, done.
Yeah.
So most people don't catch them that size.
Yeah. Do tarpon come in your area?
Oh yeah, right off the jetties. We're looking at those rocks.
Yeah.
They're always right there, rolling at the end. You can catch them off of there. You can catch them in the surf. I have caught smaller ones back in the river where it goes in the back of Nueces Bay where they come out. There's actually some snook back in there too. They're not big. These are all juveniles, but they're a lot of fun to catch.
Yeah.
A lot of fun to catch. Yeah.
Yeah, but those big ones are out front. And now I know in Texas those big, the big reds and the big black drum are usually caught out by those outside in the jetties and the passes and stuff like that. Do you have that down there where you are too?
Yeah, right now there's a lot of schools of drum running around. You can go catch a limited drum real easy. We were out in one of the bays here, Copano Bay, and you can look at it on your map. We were fishing the oysters and the mud and catching some nice trout. Well, up on my buddy's pier, just messing around. This is right in the middle of the day. You can see a school of drum go by, and you're like, wow, well, there's a bunch of reds following behind them, and sure enough, there's a school of trout following behind them. We literally picked off a trout off of this pier, and that didn't happen very often. The water was that clear that you could see them.
That is cool. That is real cool.
Nice.
What time is it? Got any more questions on there?
45. Not recently.
So as it's warming up, and what's your season is just going to keep on warming up. I mean, you're in your winter, kind of coming off of your winter now, and your season is going to start going up. It's going to be more reds, trout, flounder. Flounder, on your flounder, how big do your flounder get there?
You know, they're not as big as they are there on the East Coast, like Florida and stuff. You know, if you caught a 20-inch flounder, that's a good size flounder.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen ice just full in Galveston of 25 to 28 inches.
Wow.
And those are nice size, and they were big. You know, we've got the gigging going on and stuff, but we've got laws in Texas to where you can catch flounder during certain months, but you can't gig them.
Right. Then
There's certain months you're only allowed to gig 2, and you can catch 5, but only keep 2.
Right.
Or gig 2. They've tried to put restrictions on that to make it better. It has helped. It has helped.
Yeah.
But Galveston, they kill them. It's sick, man.
Well, and I know, like here on the East Coast, we have our, a trophy-sized flounder is a 26-incher, but that's almost an average-sized flounder for north and south of us. Like I know Jacksonville, Florida has gigantic flounder, but north of us, in Jersey and in New York has bigger flounder than we have. But I mean, if that was the same thing with you, is you have bigger flounder in certain parts of Texas, or that, but yeah.
Well, it's like the St. Sebastian Inlet. They got a lot more cooler water running through there, so they've got these bigger flounder. That colder water, like I said, there's more fish to eat, more bait. Here, where I'm at in the Gulf Coast, like I said, the water doesn't get quite that cold for a long period of time,
right.
So they don't have a chance to fatten up and get as big.
Yeah, because your river runoffs are, you got tidal, I guess, way up the rivers, or you have salt influence way up the rivers, so you don't have a lot of heavy freshwater influence into your salt water there.
Right. Now they do up in the Houston area, all down the Texas coast. I think we have a lot, but I think Louisiana has a lot more than we do.
Right.
And I've been to Venice before, where the water was basically almost fresh all around Venice, all the way up. It was pretty bad. We don't get it quite that bad here where I'm at because we don't have a lot of the rivers, but they do get it up near the Trinity River and up near Galveston and Freeport and Kemah, those areas.
Some of the bigger river systems that are going into the Gulf.
Yeah. There's some big fish up there though right now too.
Yeah, I guess that's where if the wintertime action is a little bit better there because of that.
Well, yeah, and not only they've got deeper bays and muddy, deeper water than we have here. One of the things that I've noticed over the last 3 or 4 years, that BP oil spill they sunk a lot of that oil. And if you can recall, and most fishermen can recall, about a year ago, they had an oil spill in the Galveston ship channel.
Right.
Within a day and a half. Now, mind you, we have a southeast flow and a southeast wind 15 to 20 miles an hour. It literally came down south, okay, and ended up on the national seashore. They had closed it down for the day. And that's pretty far away. Now, the BP stuff that they sank, a lot of that ended up in the curvature of the Gulf because our surf fishing is not as good as it used to be. And then our inlet fishing, I've seen a lot more brown tide that pushed a lot of the fish out and moved them down towards the Galveston area. And I mean, I literally one day just followed the fish, and it was really crazy to see that. But I mean, I live it on every day. I'm in the water so much.
Yeah, well, you see the changes and you see the effects of everything that's happened, and the changes.
Even crabs. Yeah.
Yeah, but is there recovery from it?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen right now, you don't see a lot of mullet jumping. Let's say I don't see the crabs I used to see when I'm kayaking, but I don't see a lot of bait jumping, mullet jumping. Well, what does that tell me? Well, they're still there. But what that tells me, it's a lack of predators.
Huh.
So they're not nervous. So what do they got to be nervous about? They're not. So you just don't see as many mullet jumping as you used to down here because of the lack of predators.
Right.
Really, and that's something that anybody down here I can attest to, but most people don't notice that. And that's something you really want to notice. You see nervous bait, you're going to find fish. But you don't see a lot of nervous bait here now, so it's harder to find those fish.
So is your predators, like your reds and all your specks and everything, are they thinning out, or are they moving to different areas? Is that that type of migration type of thing?
Our trout bite, like I said, I think a lot of that has to do with that brown tide and all, but our trout bite went down kind of bad. They've become, over the years, because of fishing pressure, and I'll be honest with you, they've become more nocturnal.
Yeah.
The trout have become a lot more nocturnal.
Yeah. They're sensitive fish. I mean, we can be in a spot and a guy motors in, not near us, and it'll shut the bite off. I mean, they're just sensitive fish.
Right. Yeah. Redfish, they don't really care. I mean, you catch them day or night or day. I mean, they do all kinds of crazy stuff with the trout. Yeah. That has a lot to do with it. That and the salinity level, too. So one of the things that I do when I'm out fishing, especially a tournament, one of my secrets is I actually taste the water. So,
Yep.
I mean, I have a saltwater aquarium, so I can carry a salinity. Like, I have a...
the pH metal and stuff?
No, it's I forget exactly what it's called, but it tests the salinity in the water. I can dip the water and put it on the screen and cover the thing, and I can't remember exactly what it's called. But yeah.
Now what you need to do is you need to go and find out what salinity level the trout like, what the redfish like, and you figure that one out in your brain. And when you're out there and it's in a certain area, then you know you're not going to catch this certain fish, but you're going to catch this other certain fish. But when it's right in that middle zone, you can catch both fish. So, but go in and look it up and see. It's something that I advise everybody to do if you can, because there's times that you think they're there and they're not. And the reason is because of that salinity. There's too much fresh water. And if you don't know that, then you're not going to catch that one species of fish.
Absolutely, that's a huge deal, because that's like a wall for them. I mean, that could be a wall that could push a fish in and out. I mean, for us, where we are specifically, we're really saltwater influenced. We're closer to the ocean than we are to rivers, type of thing. But I can totally see that being a huge deal. I mean, that's something that you should, like you do tasting the water. That's something that, I mean, everybody should do that. Especially if you live in an area that has that type of influence. I mean, you should be able to, one, get some salinity thing to actually get a reading. I mean, this is how I learned how to tell the temperature with the water by putting my hand in.
Yeah.
Using a thermometer, putting my hand in the water, feeling that, and now I can do it without the thermometer. Yeah.
You see this? Watch. Okay. There you go.
That's right.
Yep.
Simple and easy. Simple and easy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's it. And I don't need this. I don't need that thermometer in the summer.
Yeah.
Because the summer it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Now I want it a little bit cooler, but in the winter times where that couple degrees is going to be the difference between catching and not catching.
Well, shit, for us coming up in another month, the big reds, we're looking for the water that's coming out of the warmer mud areas.
Yeah.
And that could be the difference between where those fish are. I mean, it could be, I can be paddling around, have my hands in the water, well, cold, boom, here we go. Here's where we start looking. Because here's a spot that got warm.
Yep.
And yeah, totally do that. That's exactly.
Yeah. 2 or 3 degrees makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we started watching surface temp charts here in a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we have a good the satellite view shows like the mud areas heating up first, and you can see that spreading out to the ocean, and it's through the bays. It's pretty cool.
Well, one of the neat things, like I said, I'd advise every kayaker to actually go buy a pool thermometer.
Yeah.
You tie to the side of the kayak.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
really
yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's what I would use, except I would leave it in my boat when it got real hot and it would blow up in the middle of the summer. But it worked awesome for that's how I learned that hand temperature deal. I could go out there and go. This is 68. Paddle around. Oh, here we go on 72 right here, just by putting my hand in the water. I've gotten like that, just like with you tasting it. It is salinity point this percent.
No. Literally, look, it's like this. It's like that.
Oh,
like
full on. It's not
full.
Yeah.
And then I spit out. Yeah.
Damn.
Why do you spit it out though? But why do you spit it out though?
Well, I'm not gonna drink it. I mean,
why?
But I can taste the salt in it. You know when something's. Look, we can go to the movies and I'll give you 3 different popcorns. I guarantee you'll be able to tell which one's got the most salt in it.
Right. Right.
Right about that. That's awesome. That's pretty good. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up, Bill.
Okay, man. Thanks, guys. Like I said, that salinity and the temperature, and if you learn what the fish do, if you learn what the fish do in certain temperatures, and apply that to that salinity chart, watch the doors that will open up for you.
And 2 or 3 boxes full of lures.
Come down, man. If I sent you a picture, if I could carry this thing, I'd take you out to my shed, man.
You guys would be flabbergasted at the minimal amount of tackle that we use.
Yeah, it's
insane the minimal amount of stuff that we have here
compared to most fishermen's like fishing area where they have a garage and they have 100 rods.
I use 7 rods and 4 tackle boxes.
I've got a dozen rod and reel setups that I interchange. A dozen.
I have 7.
Yeah.
7.
Wait, 12 rods set up.
Yeah, that's it. And the interchange, I move in and out of reels and all that stuff, but basically just 12 rods.
I have got like probably 3 or 4 or 5 of my own personal that I use, but like I said, I've probably got 10 to 12 that I have rigged up just for, like I said, whenever I'm going to take people fishing.
No.
Well, I mean, we have several different seasons as well.
Yeah.
We don't just fish inshore. We're fishing the
Here's one corner of it.
That's your house? That looks like a tackle shop.
That's just one corner.
Of your house. That's your house. That's not a tackle shop. That's your house.
No, that's my shed.
We need the hookup. What do you got?
Jesus Christ.
Can we buy things at a discount from you? We don't have any lure hookups besides you now.
Well, I'm about to re-logo this, but look, there's one of my trailers.
Nice. Oh, that is sweet. Yeah, that is sweet. Oh, yeah.
You got to do it right, man.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Hey, hold on. I'm going to show you another picture before we get off of here. I want y'all to see. This is what I'm talking about at night. And
Damn. Damn. That's a big one. That's a fatty, too.
That's a big
trout, man. Look at that.
Those I let go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
See?
I don't even keep any trout.
Nah, man, I don't.
30s.
Jeez, that's probably a 29, 30-inch trout.
I got one last year. It was 12 and a half pounds.
Oh, wow.
In fact, here you go. There's a picture of it right there. That's close. I got it right here, guys. Yeah, there you go. That doesn't really do it justice, though. But that's 12 and a half pounds.
Just a fucking striper. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
God damn.
That's ugly.
Yep. Like 32 inches, something like that.
Looking all forest-like.
Yeah, it's 32 and a half.
Yeah. Whew.
Yeah, big old sucker. But at the same time I caught that, it was during, you got to realize down here in Texas, we go through like a 6-7 year cycle. And that was one of the cycles. And I know because the guy caught a new state record in the Mosquito Lagoon for Florida. About the same time I caught this trout. Another guy here in Texas, our record here in Texas was 15 plus pounds. A guy caught one here down in the Laguna that was 17 pounds plus.
Jesus.
Okay. The guy, the state record for Florida was 17 and a half pounds. The guy that caught the one in Mosquito Lagoon, that new record now is 19 plus.
So, that's a fucking trout.
It's big, man. It's a big trout.
That's a fucking trout. Jesus.
What's ours? 15?
It's
14?
huge.
Our state record's probably 15 something.
15. I think it's only 15, yeah. But Jesus.
Go get one of these.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. This thing weighs like nothing. I mean, nothing. It's so lightweight, it's ridiculous. But, well, guys, it was great getting to talk to you guys. Hey, go check out that seat, though.
Yeah.
The Gone Fishing seat. If you don't have one, I'm going to try to get some for the pro staff guys and try to get them to send me a few of them. But I don't know if any of the shops there carry them. But if they don't, this is not, I'm not getting nothing out of this but seats, basically.
Yeah.
But to help others out, I'm telling you, this seat will do
Kevin
so
works
much
at a
for the
shop.
average kayaker. Now, it's meant for a wilderness boat, too. It's meant for a lot of different boats. That's why that pouch on the back can be unclipped and it can come away from the seat. So the seat can actually go, the backing goes between it.
Yeah.
That's why it was made that way.
Cool.
But it'll help out your back, man, if you need one. But yeah, man, looking forward to the next time.
Do me a favor and put that link on the thread of the show on Facebook. So then I'll pull it from there and so on.
Where's the link?
The one everybody's commenting on.
Yeah, the one on go on my page and it'll be the Ustream link. Just on that thread, post it on the comments there.
Okay.
Post that link to that page.
Show I am.
What's that?
Okay. We'll try to do that.
After you get off here, do that. After you get off.
Okay, on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it was a pleasure, man.
Yeah, man, definitely, Phil. And we'll talk to you again, man. Definitely.
You betcha.
Cool.
Be good.
Have fun, man.
Keep growing it, man. Keep growing it.
Well, let me get that
Cut
long.
that shit off. You need to cut this shit off.
Hey, when it gets too long, I'm going to tell you right now, when it's this long, look, it's long.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I feel bad for any kind of women because when you turn your head at nighttime, I can't even turn my head. My head gets stuck.
I wrap mine up. I've got mine all in like multiple hair bands, so it's not all. Yeah. Otherwise, because mine's real curly, I'll have dreads overnight, so I have to keep it like.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Be good.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right,
Phil.
man. Fucking crazy.
You like your hair? You like the hair stuff?
The Skype works smooth as fuck again.
Yeah, it seems like it was working all right.
So that was fun as shit. everyone that's still on here. How many people are still on here? 7. Not bad.
Cool. Right,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
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 That was fun as fuck, man. The Skype is turning out to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's working all right so far.
And we had his picture and it flashed, and now his picture is back, so we got him. He's still with us. That might be after our picture. Let's get our picture real quick.
Yeah, well, I'll reset it after because what I'll do is I have both of his pictures.
Yeah, okay, you can add them both.
So
okay, cool.
When that let that.
Oh, we had another flash.
But yeah, that's gonna work. This week I think Sunday we're gonna try to have
Shane and maybe Al with him.
And then Wednesday I think we're gonna try to have Ken Neal.
I'm gonna text Ken and see about Sunday. Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
I'll see.
Anytime during that, whatever.
Anytime. We're literally, that's somebody that we're gonna try and get Ken Neal. So we're going to literally work with his schedule and whatever we can do, we're gonna try and get him on here. There's no one better to have on this time of year, at this slow time of year, than him. He is
so much information. I'm
so
ready to pick his brain about all kinds of stuff.
Right, that's what I told him. I told him, you saw the email today, and I was like, dude, man. Kevin's chomping at the bit to just talk to you. So
yeah.
Especially
one definitely the red satellite tags is the one that would that just.
Right.
I was all over that when he did that. I was like, that's the shit because that's my fish.
Yeah, and I mean now he's clipping tautog. DNA.
That's just one little thing I'm gonna ask him about.
Yeah.
What all this other stuff.
There's so much stuff out there that he's doing. So
excited about that one, and we'll do that. Yeah, and I'll be taking a Facebook break, so you'll be posting.
Yeah, and that's that's Healthy Grin Sport Fishing on Facebook.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, cool. All right, guys, we'll see you Sunday, and cool. Later.